I'm Chase.
And I'm Timothy.
And this is Customer Service. How we doing?
Good. Good.
Fucking
Tired.
yeah.
I had to get back to like normal schedule today with Gia back in school because she was out for a little bit with a little stomach bug.
It was a holiday yesterday.
Yeah, she's been able to somehow between like before the Japan trip, because she got sick right before the Japan trip.
Yeah.
Luckily, like
Yeah.
she was
Yeah.
better by the time we left. But between that, Japan trip, back, Madison, back, stomach flu, but she hasn't like strung together a full week of school.
Hey, good for her.
In like a month.
That's literally the dream.
So
that's all we could ever ask for.
even when she got sick the last 2 days, she had Veterans Day off.
Yeah.
So she weaseled that into a 4-day situation. Now, to be fair, she was legitimately,
Yeah.
it was a bummer. She was out, but
Yeah.
but she's back to it. She's good, and we had to get back up today. I haven't even been back in the gym, so I had like one good week, and now I'm off, and I feel off.
Yeah.
You know?
Did I tell you
feel
what
off.
Michelle bought for the house?
No,
Gym bench.
like for weights.
Yeah. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like,
Where's
like
it at?
It's not set up yet. I don't know where it's gonna go, to be honest with you. We haven't really figured that out.
She bought this for herself.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll
probably use
of
it a
all
little bit, too.
things, you could have told me Peloton, bike, row. Any of those things would have made more sense than just flat out weight bench for her.
Hey, free weights, baby.
Yeah.
So-
She's just looking to get strong.
Yeah, she's looking to get strong.
It's no slight at her. She's just she's not muscular.
No, yeah.
I wouldn't describe her as that'd be the last thing.
No.
So it just is a strange
Slender.
to be like not doing a ton of like where she does yoga, right? That's her.
Yeah. Yeah.
She does that, which takes a fair amount of like core strength and stuff for sure.
Yeah,
But it's just a wild step up to go fucking prison bench.
So we're gonna see. It's literally a prison bench. It's what you'd find out, at a big gym where you go bench. It's that. You know what I mean?
So it's just a bench and weights.
Well, we'll got to get some weights. Yeah. So we'll see.
We just have the bench. Right?
Yeah, we got some weights, but we
Okay.
want the interchangeable ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it too. I'm gonna start working out.
Wait, is it a bar? Is it a bar or is it free? It's free.
No,
weights.
free,
Okay.
just the actual thing you lay on.
Yeah. To be fair, I was picturing like just a bar. I was like, damn, just fucking putting them up. Free weights is probably better. Yeah, you can do a little bit more.
It's better for you too than benching.
Yeah. Well, I do some bench, but it's all like I do really light, and then I try to do really high, like counts,
Yeah,
like
yeah, I
in
feel
reps.
you.
You know
I
what I
feel
mean?
you.
Instead of big weights,
Yeah,
which I know
yeah.
is going to offend certain people in like our Discord and stuff for our big bodies.
For heavy lifters.
I'm not really, but you know, I'm not trying to put on muscle.
I would love to go the rest of my life never picking up a weight ever again.
I'll never understand this. Well,
I loved it, and
I'm
hate
sure
it.
therapy would answer some questions, but like, what your desire to avoid everything, I would say.
Just want to exist.
And listen,
baby.
I understand there are times, this is just depression talking, not anything else, that like I would like to be a ghost in a dream world.
Yeah.
I would like to be a ghost for a lot of reasons. I think I've mentioned this before. Like
You would
it's
have
like
fun
a real,
doing it, too.
A real fantasy of mine where
Yeah.
I could just be fucking
Around.
Caspering around, just going through people's medicine
Shit.
cabinets and stuff, seeing how they live.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't bother anybody, just, you know.
Yeah. No,
I mean, I
feel
don't
you.
know. That's not true. It would be very tempting if you were a ghost to scare people.
Oh, I would want to pull a prank. It'd be harmless.
But you'd know you'd be like people move out of their house because of that kind of thing. When you know you're just like, I was just goofing. You know what I
I
mean?
just
it wasn't.
pushed the bag of Doritos off.
Yeah.
the table,
I thought it'd be
yeah.
funny, and now they're
I'm
doing.
just goofing, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'd be
on,
tempting.
on the note of being a ghost and observing people, I was thinking about this. We went to Whole Foods over the weekend, as we do, and like you ever see like somebody's cart, and you just think like, man, that sucks shit. Like,
Yeah, but there's
it's like
also
a bunch of beets and
yes,
shit. Or
but if you, what time are you going to the Whole Foods? Probably a dumb
we're going.
time. You're going. At a
We're
dumb time.
typically going Sunday at 10:30 a.m. That's like when we're mostly there.
No. There's 2 times to go to Whole Foods. Perfect times. Right at open. Right at close, baby.
Right at close is dope. We used to do that at our old crib. Yeah.
I don't. Again, as childless adults, I don't know why you're not doing it. That is the dream, to go to the grocery store at night right before close, especially like a big Whole Foods.
No one's in
You've
there.
You got all the time in the world. Because the thing is,
buddy.
and look, Boulder's probably a little busier than Longmont.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
At the same time, like Whole Foods in particular, no matter what the size of the Whole Foods, they're a little tighter than normal grocery stores. So like you get in the aisles with like 3 other people, and of course the people there are like act like they're the king and queen of Spain, and they need to be looking at whatever you're looking at. They need to look at in front of you, and they're annoyed if you are looking at it first. Yeah. And I like to take my time because half of like most of what I'm earning money for is to go to the grocery store. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've said it a million times on the pod. We're working just so we can go to Whole Foods and spend money on shit we want.
Going to the grocery store.
I love it.
I want to go. I've tried to convince Abby into adopting the European go every single day situation just because I like to go.
Get little 1-2s.
It's definitely more expensive, less waste, but more expensive.
Because you just use it all up straight up.
Yeah, I like going. It's just like it's an errand. That and the coffee shop. I love going to those two places.
Yeah,
Anywhere
I agree
else,
with you.
Mid on, don't need to go. Gym. I like gym, coffee shop, grocery store.
I like restaurant when we do it.
It's fine. I like criticizing the restaurant.
Here's the thing. I love going to the grocery store too. I fully agree with you. I love it. The Longmont one is certainly less, I would say even ideal over here, by us. Is way more populated than Longmont. The Longmont Whole Foods is hardly a thing.
I don't understand how anything exists in any suburb around here. I go to it and I'm like, it's the most obvious of them, and we get too localized, I think, sometimes. But that like Broomfield Target, the one that burnt down and they rebuilt,
the Superior one.
Superior, sorry. It's all the fucking.
It's the size of a city block. You could name
any of these Erie, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
They look identical to me when we go there.
No, they
just look like
cookie cutter.
Yeah, it's. And look, I understand your slight interest in them. I get where you're coming from. I don't know about it rules, but if it rules for you,
clean,
that's great
big,
for you.
organized, has everything you want, and not a lot of people.
I don't need this thing of yours. I don't need this. Like, you want to live in like Sims world.
I want to live in a world where it's all figured out.
Yeah, it's just I like observing people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't need to interact with them or anything. I just like I need the coffee shop with cool goth people working at it and stuff. Like I need the whole whatever they call the septum piercing people. So I need that around. That would never exist. It can't exist. They don't go out that far.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
you can get that at Starbucks.
No, you can't. That's not true.
Our Starbucks is.
No,
it's good.
No, the one gay guy in town that works at the Starbucks in Longmont is not. That's not what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about? That is not. That's not the diversity I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying. It's fine. I'm glad that they. I worked at one of these.
I like the people that work at our Starbucks. They're nice, friendly. They feel like they recognize us at this point. I think it's fun.
It's fine. That's my option B. That's my B team. Yeah. You know what I mean? I need it to feel cooler than that, or I feel like I didn't get out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
I didn't get out to go back.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
So I can't. I understand where you're coming from. I do go out to like that. I'll make the special trip out to that Target just because. Well, ours here is we're way too deep in this local shit, but ours here is the college one, and it looks like it looks like the Y2K happened every day.
They never restock the shelves after COVID.
No. You're wrong. They restock every single day, and it gets wiped.
Torched.
I've never been there, and it's not busy. We go in the morning to like get something busy. All the time it's busy. They're making more money than God in that place.
Well, listen, I've heard this rumored about many things in Boulder. I've heard that the Taco Bell on Baseline was the highest grossing Taco Bell for a period of time, which kind of makes sense. It's kind of near the dorms. I could see it, this, that, and the other. I've heard that Target is the highest grossing Target in North America, or has been at times. So it very well may be true, but I agree with you. It's torched in there always.
Yeah.
Always torched.
Now, again, I sort of like going in there and seeing all the college kids, especially like if you go on like a Friday night and it's just like, you see just college kids doing stuff.
Milling around.
See, I really need that. I need to be around things going on. I don't necessarily need to be a part of them at all. I just like stuff happening. You know what I mean? I like being a part of something bigger than myself. And out there in the Broomfield one, it looks like
Who goes here?
It looks like one of those scenes from like a zombie movie where it's like, where is everybody?
Zombieland
like,
with
I don't like that. Everything feels like it's going to close. It's like, how could this keep going? How could they afford rent? They're doing that. Target's doing like $1,000 a day.
Yeah, no, I mean, I hear you. I think I have those thoughts too. But
And I've been there Saturday.
Cost of living must be lower. You know, like rent's lower for those places.
It can't be that much lower.
Than Boulder?
Why real estate isn't that much lower out there?
I guess it's not when you're talking about renting a house.
That's what I'm saying. So why would that be so much lower?
No, I guess you're right.
Is it more friendly than one? Yeah, sure, maybe. But like, it can't be by that much.
Yeah.
I don't even know how they're finding employees to staff the thing.
Yeah, I mean,
and if you went to look for an employee, it would take you 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, and they're 17.
Yeah.
And they work 3 hours a week.
Yeah. So I get it. It's very clean. I like that it's very organized. I go in there and thinking like, it looks like I don't understand who it's for.
Yeah.
Like, who are you dolling this bitch up for? Because
it's for suburbia. It's for the families that go to high school out there.
I'm just telling you, nobody's in that thing.
Yeah.
There's no. Any time of day I go, there's nobody in there.
Yeah.
It's like freaky. Again, I like going to that one because it
that
is
one.
nice when you want to stretch your arms out a little.
And you guys go to that Costco, right?
Well, I don't, but Abby does.
I hear that you have no interest in joining us at Chili's this weekend.
No. No, I think I'm going to take a little alone time.
Yeah. No, that's cool. We're going to get those mozzarella sticks. Hey,
I understand where you guys are coming from. I think that you guys like build this fantasy world about what suburban stuff is,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then you go search it out.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
I love
at
it.
all.
I love it so
I
much.
I want to pay $18 for a breakfast sandwich and a coffee that's this big. I want that. I want to be out the door for $65 for a person.
Yeah.
But it just be a very curated experience.
Yeah,
that's what I need.
For the record, I understand what you're arguing for. I agree that that's nice. I like those things.
Let me also walk this back, though. If you don't count any sort of like Chili's or anything, I would prefer I'd prefer to only go to the restaurants that are in your area, if that makes sense. I want to only go to like fast casual restaurants. I'm not interested in sit down restaurants at this point in my life.
You're speaking my language, but
yeah.
Now, are you saying like a Fridays, TGI Fridays?
No. I'm talking, you know what I'm talking about. Chipotle, Sweetgreen, Kava.
Okay.
You know the hitters.
Yeah.
If they don't have a celebrity endorsement, I'm not interested.
Buddy, one of these days, you guys are going to come out to Longmont. We're going to do it to go to Chipotle. You're going to see how good Chipotle can
listen,
be.
I'm not. I've lived this life, buddy. I know that that's better.
It is the best Chipotle in America.
Again, but it's because there's nobody in it. The ones here is, again, line out the door all the time. Dead of winter, line out the door. Yeah. So you can't get in there for a good one.
It's
just the
hungover
way
college kids, too. Apparently, there's a new Chipotle on the hill. Alex said that they're heavy with the scoops. So
Alex said they're heavy with the scoops. Shout out
No. Maybe it was Drew that said that. It was Alec or Drew. One of them were chatting about it. But anyway, we can move on.
We got to cast a wider. We've spent 12 minutes talking about very hyper local things. We're arguing about two towns that nobody knows, basically. You know what I mean? Yeah. This isn't New York and Boulder. I mean, you know what I mean? This isn't
Boulder and Longmont.
Yeah, this is
and
New York. I was thinking New York and Brooklyn. So it's not that. This is very different.
I made a stop on my way in this morning to Whole Foods, not to get local, but to Ideal. I have a new perfect lunch. It's a plastic container of cherry tomatoes and an apple, and that's what I'm rocking with at lunch lately. Because eating the ramen just makes me more hungry. It's just carbs and salt. So,
yeah, I think you should work a protein in there somehow. I think that would be smart for you.
Maybe like an egg.
Yeah, that could be good. Like a boiled egg would be good into that mix. I still think you're at a pretty high calorie deficit. So the problem is if you're not eating breakfast, then you eat that, and then you go eat dinner, you're going to eat like a crazy person. Because I do this.
It's me. Yep.
You know what I mean? Because you know me. Like I don't really need to. I don't need to eat
Yeah.
lunch. I don't even feel the desire to. I'll eat it now and then. If, yesterday we were moving shit around. I felt like eating something.
Hell yeah, yeah. You
but
crush, yeah.
but like other than that, I don't feel like I need to.
Yeah, I will say I don't disagree. When we get a heavy lunch, man, it's hard to power through the rest of the day. There's no
This
doubt.
is why I don't do it, man. I agree with you. Like having like an apple and peanut butter is kind of like quick way to like do that.
I think an
kind of
apple's
thing.
perfect.
Or like if you get like baby carrots or almonds or bullshit like that. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm on a cherry tomato kick right now. Next thing will be snap peas.
I'm telling you, and maybe I should do a niceness for you, and I'll make that cherry tomatoes sauce. I did it
Yeah,
again.
brother.
I know it. I got it now.
You got it?
I got it.
Yeah.
I think it might be my new only sauce. Like it is. It takes so much longer, but it's easier.
Yeah.
But it is like, I mean, you can ask Abby, and she never gives me flowers,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
like
yeah.
I have to really, I have
know.
to knock it out of the fucking park.
Yeah.
Because it's her territory. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like,
she's good at cooking.
yeah.
She's fucking good in the kitchen.
Yeah, she's
Every
good.
time we come over,
She's
the amount of shit she has
also-
prepared is amazing.
Yeah, so we're just two different people with it. Like I want to keep making the same recipe over and over again until I feel like I can do it
Dialed
without
it,
thinking,
yeah.
and just keep doing the same thing. She does something new every single time, which is also hard to like when she's like, "What's your favorite thing I make?" I'm like, "I don't. You barely ever make
million
something
things.
twice."
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she can just look around and go, "Here we go." You know what I mean? Where I have to follow things a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, this just cherry tomato sauce, bro. It's
You
the
know
best sauce I've ever done.
pasta or what's the vehicle?
Yeah, just like a simple pasta.
Yeah,
it's all
hell
about
yeah.
the sauce. It's almost is like soup like almost. But
Yeah,
like
that's sick.
brother, like the consistency is unmatched.
Woo! Yeah, buddy. If you would do a niceness for me,
What's
that would
crazy is it tastes like when you have like a cream sauce, like a tomato cream sauce of some kind, vodka sauce, whatever it is. But there's no cream in it at all.
That rules, yeah.
None at all.
Yeah.
It's just about the process.
Is it oily? You know what I'm saying? It gets that film over top.
A little, but this is more about just like it's like when you get like perfect soup.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
know what
like
you're talking
velvety.
about. Yeah,
It's
I know
more
what
like
you're talking
velvety.
about. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
My first job was working at an Italian restaurant. It was a small Italian restaurant he eventually added on to, but think like a small Dairy Queen that didn't even have a drive-through, like a walk-up Dairy Queen. And that was
See, now
converted
you're
into
talking
a
about the only
restaurant.
other type of restaurant I am interested in, which is like that type of family-owned, very small.
Oh yeah, his name's Alessandro. He'd been cooking in that spot for I think 22 years when I started on. He's got to be getting to be done with it. You know what I mean? 7 days a week, 6 days a week, just him cooking with one other person. In the winter, it's the dishwasher. In the summer, there's an additional cook that helps him prepare pizzas and salads. That's it. But man, I've still that's still like my favorite red sauce I've ever had though. He had like a meat sauce. Just get a little bit of a little bowl, a little bit of spaghetti, a little bit of meat sauce. I could do that endlessly. But what I'm trying to get at is it has that little film over top, that shiny sheen of oil. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's more how I'll do like just a regular marinade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I love when it's thinner. I don't want it to be a chunky red sauce. That's not really my thing. I want it to be thinner or more of a smooth texture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I want the oil and the saltiness.
I kind of want less tomatoes is really the reality. You know what I mean? Like less, because I think some people use too much like tomato paste and tomato,
yeah.
and then they're adding that to crushed tomatoes and tomato sauce, and it's like
sure.
this is too much. It's going to be so acidic and like tinny, and it's like I would rather like reduce, and just keep trying to get oil and
sounds
shit
so
to come
good.
out.
Okay, well, I'm really excited to try that. I've got my little cherry tomatoes today for lunch.
Do it
What?
again. The problem is you can't really. I don't think there's a way to really do it in like a bigger batch than I'm doing it in. You have to like I think
How many tins of tomatoes are you getting?
3.
3 of the little cherry guys. Are
Yeah.
you getting just red ones?
I'm doing the flavor bombs or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I got ones that are called cherry bombs or something.
Something. It's like a black cardboard outside of it. You know what I'm talking about? And it says something
I think I
bomb or
do.
some shit.
There's like honestly, just because it's top of mind, there was like 6 or 7 options for
Are
cherry
they
tomatoes.
in
and they're
season right now? Is that what's going on?
I would
Or
say
are they just on top
we're
of
at
our
the
head?
tail end of season in Colorado. Maybe for the larger U.S. distribution chain, it might be quote unquote in season for areas that stay warmer. The season's longer, and the tomatoes will keep producing. But in terms of hyper local, season is come and gone. Once it freezes, it's gone.
I don't know what this podcast is.
Well, let's move on, bro. Let's do a quick catch up.
Let's
What'd
move
you do
on.
this
Anyway,
weekend?
what's out in Superior? What I do this weekend? Not a lot. First weekend in a long time where there was nothing to do and I had a sick kid. Which is also like, it's so awful because like you just like, kids are so much energy and doing so much stuff and making so many messes, doing all this thing. And then they like conk out because they're like sick and you're like, oh, this sucks. I don't like this. Even though it's nice that like she stayed in one place for more than like 30 minutes. Yeah. So, but like, yeah, so we didn't really do much. We just like cleaned up the house. We've been doing some like deep cleaning things, nothing interesting. I went and saw a movie, but it was just with her. We went and saw Wild Robot. Pretty good though.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Like it's a contender for like a bunch of top animated stuff right now. And I get it.
Is it Pixar?
No, I don't know what it is.
Ghibli?
DreamWorks or something. No. I don't know what it is. It's one of maybe DreamWorks.
I only know so many.
Why do you
words.
need to know? What is that going to?
I was just curious. I just want to look at it.
The art's really pretty. The story's really good. It's more geared towards parents, but it's very like, cloaked in.
But kids would watch it and
Yeah,
enjoy it.
yeah, Gia loved
But if
it,
you're
yeah.
a parent, you have to go watch. At least you can enjoy it. And,
Yeah.
Oh,
This is
cute.
this is a very heightened. This is like Iron Giant energy. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot more going on than
There's a screen
The
cap
art's
of the robot surrounded by a moose, a bear, a fox,
Yeah.
raccoon,
Yeah,
bunny rabbits,
and it's
etc.
really good.
cute.
It's got if you liked like the good part of Wall-E, not the part where they body shame people for 40 minutes.
Jeff Goldblum's character.
Wait, no, not Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, dude.
No. Wait, no, maybe you're right. No, you're not right. We're thinking of the guy I know. He got in trouble. From Curb Your Enthusiasm. Why can't we think of his name?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is that not him?
Jeff Gold.
Maybe I'm.
You're saying the guy from Jurassic
I'm saying
Park.
the guy from Jurassic Park, but who
Yeah.
I'm picturing is the guy from Curb.
Why can't we think of his name? He's
Jeff Garland.
Garland. Yeah,
Jeff
there we go,
Garland
yeah.
is the character I was trying to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So it was good. But
Yeah.
I mean, that was that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was. I really didn't do like a ton of stuff.
But it
so-
was the first weekend since September that we haven't been together in some regard. Like,
Yeah.
straight up, before we went to Japan, even you didn't, this doesn't count, but even the weekend that we didn't, we did. We were out at Coops and Andy's, and Abby came, and warehouse sale, Madison, getting home from Japan. Like,
Yeah.
so
Too much stuff.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. I did as little as possible, if you can imagine that.
Yep.
Our yard waste was finally picked up. I'm happy to report. It sat
thank
outside
God.
for days.
Everyone that was on the edge of their seat, take a rest. Put your back on the back of the chair. The yard waste has been picked up. The saga ends.
20 bags. Other than that, buddy, that truthfully was it. We went to Whole Foods Sunday morning. We watched some football. Saturday. What did we do Saturday? I think we took it easy. We did something Saturday, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, we went and got lunch with our buddies.
Okay.
Spaceman and his better
Nice.
half. That's about it.
You guys got a real routine with that.
We love them.
Yeah.
They're just like us. So
Just like us.
So that-
fans are taking it easy.
So that's about it, dude. That's about it.
Okay.
That's truthfully it. We got back into quilting where we picked back up where we started off. So that'll be a nice little wintertime
The
hobby.
chung 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 shit.
No, like a literal quilt.
Mm.
We bought a bunch of fabrics and cut it into shapes, and now we're.
You guys are going to be in a retirement home by the time you're 42. It's just like you're self-admitting.
I do want to set up the tufting gun. That would be the other rug.
Yeah, that's what I was talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah. We have that. I can set that up today. Other than that, dude, we just took it easy. It was really nice just to fucking be home.
Mm-hmm.
I took off my garden bed covers and everything's dying, and our backyard is a fucking soppy, muddy
Mm-hmm.
mess, which is not great. We have to clean Leon's paws every time he comes in, and he hates it. But
Yeah, dude. I miss Jeff a lot because I've been really like jonesing for a dog, even
Yeah.
though we got 2 cats.
Yeah.
But I just love a dog, you
yeah,
know?
yeah,
And at the same time, like not having when it was snowed, like not having to do dog stuff in the snow for the first time in 10 years, 11 years, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
That is not longer than that. It was like 13 years.
bro. Yeah,
So like that's a lot. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
towards the end of his life, I was like lifting him. I was picking him up and down
the
steps,
stairs,
and
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
and he didn't like to be in the wet.
yeah.
That was a lot,
Yeah,
dude.
dude,
So,
yeah, yeah.
but so I don't miss that.
It's
part
a
of
lot,
things,
dude.
but-
We've been fortunate enough with the way that it's worked out. Michelle and I have lived together for years now, and only 2 of those years we shared the backyard. And in the times we shared the backyard, I'd have to take him out in the front yard in winter. You know what I mean? And I fully agree. There's nothing worse than
Listen to this.
10:30 and you're like, I'm ready to go to bed. No, let me put on a whole bunch of shit so I can go out in 15-degree weather.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, and then the worst thing is like you fall asleep on the couch or something, you forget, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah. He's
Nothing's
looking
worse.
at you.
Yeah.
yeah.
I have never in my life lived in a place outside of living at home at my
When
parents'
you
house.
go home and visit him.
I've never lived in a place where there weren't stairs up to my place ever.
Damn.
No different versions of things. We've had a backyard that was to ourselves. We've had a garage. We've had stuff, but never single. When Chicago is just like all of them are these if you've ever lived in Chicago, that all the apartments are
the same
identicals
thing.
basically.
Yeah.
And we were just always, you didn't ever want to be in like garden unit if you could help it, just because of robberies and stuff.
Yeah.
So you wanted to be 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Always were 2 and 3. This place that we got now is a bungalow, so it's up on stilts basically. I think it would be weird to not, I mean, it would be nice for like carrying in groceries and stuff, but I'm so used to this that it would be very odd to just like walk outside.
Yeah.
It seems,
to just like open a door
crazy.
and be outside.
Yeah. Well, I like it because we like to keep all the windows and everything open, and then when you're up there, you don't see anything. There's nothing to look at. It's just trees and stuff. So I like
it is cool. I really like
privacy.
being in your little bungalow.
But yeah, I've thought about it before. This is strange that I've never been able to just like park my car and walk inside. Like it's like you go up 2 flights of steps at least.
Yeah. No, I definitely prefer it this way, and this is how we found ourselves in Longmont. But yeah, out of the 5 years living, we've been lucky enough to not just share a backyard, but then we had to share the backyard, and that sucks. So I feel you on that. Okay. Anything else? Nothing else to report?
I don't think we really had anything to report for the past 25 minutes.
I got a topic for you. One, Black Friday is quickly approaching. Real quick, to our people listening, if you want early access to Black Friday, sign up on Patreon. That's going to be coming sooner rather than later.
Soonish, yep.
Soonish. So,
next little bit. I mean, when Black Friday is. It's not like any mystery, and we give Patreon subscribers at least, I don't know how long it is this time, but at least 48, usually 72 hours of total freedom on their way before everybody else, so that you can buy and exchange or do anything you need to do prior to everyone else starting to picket sizing. So yeah, if you want early access to that, or you got something your wish list's been started, this is an easy way for $10 you can get in there early.
Hop in there, you will get access again
and
sooner than later. So
access to all the video pods, you get access to all the extra content, and then obviously monthly things and all this. We'll also have an early access for merch, which is landed.
It's here. It's got to get in the
looking
system
at
and
it.
good to go. So
yeah,
maybe here end of the week.
If you've been we get a lot of requests about the first. This is a very long saga that I won't get into because it's not. Well, it is interesting, but it's not to air out on the pod.
Not to be shared on a podcast.
It is the first one we ever did was probably our like most beloved run of Canoe Club merch. The fit was great. Everything about them was really good. We went through some other variations. All of them were fine. It just wasn't exactly what we wanted. This is probably the closest to us finding exactly what we were trying to do.
Exactly what we're keen for, yeah.
So if you've been looking for that kind of like classic Canoe Club off black situation, we've got it in a hoodie, like a pullover hoodie. We've got it in a zip-up hoodie. We've got it in sweat shorts for at home. Perfect time.
They're sick.
I'm telling you, the kit is just going to be that hoodie, those sweat shorts, and a pair of those Rototo socks for the...
Yes, sir. I'm going to have to take home a kit today.
Because I'm not like a pants man at home. I've said this before.
If it's cold enough, but I actually like to do shorts lately and be under the blanket. So,
okay. There we go. We just like we're redoing our warehouse right now, like a little bit, and just moving some things around. So we have to work together. I think we've talked about talking dumb to each other.
Yeah.
We've been doing a lot of talking dumb to each other for the past couple days.
Yeah. We were joking that basically,
the quote is, you said I should be building bridges.
Yeah.
Based on our ability
I did a rig,
to do stupid things around here for...
I fancy myself an engineer is what he's getting at.
Mm-hmm.
I really wholly do. That's not even a joke. I think that if you give me some raw material and a couple fucking nails and a hammer, I'll be able to make things do the things you need it to do. It might not be to code, and it might not look the prettiest, but I'm telling you, if you need me to build a bridge in the middle of the woods to get a fucking motorcycle across or something, I can do it.
No one here would deny that you and I are very good at just...
working with what
we've been told we don't really speak when we do it. It's just like it's dumb talk. It's like I know unfortunately exactly what you're thinking. And we've been able to, every single thing we say we can do, we just are able to do it, which is why I believe, I've told you this is half the reason I kind of believe in that shit TikTokers always talk about in manifestation. Because truthfully, I think it's just a matter of us always believing that we can do it 100% and just knowing it will get done.
Yeah.
But we have no prior knowledge. We don't know what we're doing. And you just sort of act in a way in which it allows you to make it happen. I think it's the strongest proof of manifestation I've ever seen is that when you say, we have to get up to the ceiling today to get something down. I'm like, all right, I think if we do this or do that, and if I hold the ladder like this, and we'll get it done.
We just did it.
Yeah, so we're moving things around. Anyway, you were saying you think you can be an engineer. Obviously, that's not possible because
not with this level of schooling. I think I'm naturally gifted towards working
Chase,
through
the first
problems.
class I put you in that was like the math that you would have to do, and you understand what you're doing. It has to be a lot of like presentations and code. Like me being up to code and giving them.
I'm more of the conceptual guy. And
that's what we were saying is we would be pitching us building a bridge.
They're going to charge you how much?
Yeah. We can get it done for 10.
10 grand. We're
10
done.
Grand. 2 Buildums, 1 Dig'em. Wood, metal, done. It's just so stupid. And we're appalled that anyone would be charging more.
Let me tell you about a Dig'em that I did that was really good. A Build'em rather. I maybe have said it on the pod, but I want to express like this engineering was like tested out by feral children, i.e. me and my buddies, running full speed. So down at Lake Erie, typically, I'm sure all the lakes are like this, but the actual land is up here and there's always a hill down to the lake. Rarely is the lake like at living level. You know what I'm saying? And so this negative space was called the Commons, and we built like an airsoft arena, basically. We took apart my buddy's mom, his family was wealthy. We come to later find out we took apart all these lawn chairs that were very expensive, but we took them apart to build ladders and the like. What I mean? Just like took them apart to use the raw material. But long story short, there were a lot of tree forts.
Stop saying raw material. You get little phrases and then you like can't stop saying them.
We among various tree forts and other things we've built, ladders that go up off of this little spindly branch, and you can sit in a little sniper tower that's fully protected. What I'm about to describe, Timothy, is legitimately impressive. And I think back on it, and this was before the days of having phones that took photos. And whatever photos or videos we took live on some, fucking long dead computer tower somewhere in the Midwest or shipped to the middle of the ocean and dropped. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Wherever this data is not in our ether any longer. Mm-hmm. And imagine a tree so big around that it'd be if you stretch your hands out, you and me on the other side would maybe be able to touch arms. Big tree, right? Big tree. We built a ladder straight up the tree and then a fully suspended circular platform 360 degrees around the tree. And then, like I said, so if the tree comes up and then the hill to the top level of the ground kind of goes like this, we built a bridge straight across, bro. So you could run from the top of the hill to meet the fort of the tree and then scamper down the ladder if you had to. And this was all with, we would go behind Giant Eagle and pick up, abandoned pallets, like I said, lawn furniture that we could get our hands on and take apart. It just sticks, twigs, branches, whatever we could saw, whatever hammers we could get from the garages that we had for those of us that had dads around, et cetera, et cetera. And we really, Timbo, like legitimately, nobody fell off it. It never broke. And these were kids, 13, 14-year-old kids were running and really going for it. So I just want to say, that's my dream. Actually, you give me a job right now, the dream would be to just build tree forts for kids or just to build them.
Okay.
Just to build them.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like that. I'd love to see you market that. I'd love for you to pitch that to a marketing team. They're like, you want us to do what? Like, sir.
No, I'm thinking, your buddy has a kid and your buddy's not super DIY inclined, but the kid wants a tree fort. Well, I can make that happen.
This is you doing an infomercial. Your buddy's like a dumbass. He can't build shit. That's where I come in.
I'll take apart your lawn furniture. We'll get some pallets.
I do understand where you're coming from in the sense that like we definitely built some like forts out of just junk we found in the woods and stuff like that, and we had handlebars that we attached. I don't know how somebody climbed it to a high tree, went off the hill. I went and looked at it as an adult one time. I went home during college, and I was like, I'm just gonna walk back into those woods where we used to hang out,
and just see.
And I'm like looking at it going, that was incredibly dangerous.
yeah. There was this family, the Dickies. I've talked to you about them before. I believe there was some sort of religious situation. I'm not sure what denomination, but there was like.
I love that you won't say people's like Discord names, but you look very protective of their privacy.
If the Dickies hear this podcast,
you've doxed everyone in Ashtabula, Ohio.
If the Dickies hear this podcast, I've only sent praise, and I will send it.
I'm not saying you say anything bad.
These kids are the whole family were completely fucking ripped. They were just literal statues of humans who were fearless and indestructible. Their bodies never quit. They were not afraid of anything. They were workhorses. You remember you had a buddy on the soccer team.
Afraid of anything.
You had a buddy said it was a glutton for pain. He would just run endlessly in soccer.
Yeah.
This was the whole family. You needed them to be on the other side of the field before the rest of the team. Like they would do it. They just could make things happen. Manifestation, right? And one time we went out to their cousin's house, which they had even more kids in that family, and way out in the cut, way out in the woods. And there was, Timothy, as I remember it, if I weren't to exaggerate, it was a rope swing that went over a gully, and I'm telling you, at the height from where the rope was attached and the bottom of the gully would be, I'm saying like legitimately, I'm not exaggerating, like 120 feet, huge, unbelievably huge. And same thing, we would do that at night, dude. We would go out there overnight and have somebody shine a flashlight so you could know when it was time to let go when you got back.
Yeah.
But
it's dicked. This made me think of a couple things. One is, let me start here.
Yeah.
I thought, and I don't know how to I don't want to dox these kids. But so we'll just say that the name is funny is the thing. It really adds to the bit. So basically, there were these two kids that joined our school. They were twins. They're twin boys. I don't know where they were from. Like, it wasn't anywhere where you're like, oh yeah, sure. It was like a country that you've not heard of. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, where?
Like Eastern Europe kind of thing?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. And even thinking back and thinking, I'm like, I don't know where. We were told at some point, but I don't think it ever came up again.
Yeah.
All I'm getting at is they didn't speak English. Was not their first language.
Yeah.
And they were like. It was like two bodies was the same as Tasmanian devils. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where it's like an upside down triangle with arms and legs on the side. And they were like so rowdy. Like, dude, and they put them on our soccer team in like middle school. And they were not good at soccer, but they loved soccer. They're so bad. And they played it like football. Like it was just full body contact. And because they had a name, and I don't remember what their names are, but for lack of remembering, it was like Mike and Ike. They had like the same name basically, and their name rhymed with people would shout "Hootie Hoo" at them. Remember Hootie Hoo was like a thing from Birdman, you know?
Yeah.
And people would shout that at them because it matched their last name. I won't say anything else, but it matched their last names.
Yeah.
And they didn't speak great English. It wasn't a problem because they were so like boisterous and like in your face. It didn't matter. Like you could just sort of. They could communicate with each other. We don't know what they were saying. I don't know that anybody does. I'm not sure that they were speaking another language. I think they'd made up their own because it was like grunts and they just like talked. They would kind of like they were always mad at each other.
Yeah.
Especially in soccer.
They were twins.
I want you to remember they're very bad at soccer, but they were trying their hardest and loving it. Like they just loved soccer. It's just they didn't know what it was. I don't think. I think they just liked that they got let loose on a field.
Yeah.
Together, and they were always together, like, and they operated as a unit.
Yeah.
And because they liked that people would say "hootie hoo" to them. That's how that they would talk on the soccer field. You understand what I mean? So they'd call "hootie hoo" to each other. I think it's so they knew where they were on the field.
Echolocation.
And you would be like, dude, I could just imagine being on another team, and you'd hear it, and it was like if you were in the woods versus the predator, and you could hear him clicking, but you didn't know where he was, because they would come, they'd start saying "hootie hoo," and then suddenly they would descend upon you and get red cards because they were just like full body tackling people.
Oh, that's so
Anyway,
sick,
I don't know
dude.
why. I think it was because you're talking about
They were identical twins.
identical twins.
love that.
I don't know. We never
I
knew
think
which
that's the
one was
coolest
which.
thing in the world, yeah.
And they didn't they liked being at school, but they didn't hang out with anybody after, or I think want to. They just hung out together all the time.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
MDS have a twin relationship.
They were a wild group. Also, I do remember like when I first like learned music, I was, I don't know how old, younger, but not super young. I was always into it, but we wanted to play it. Basically, it was like the one friend has a bass guitar, so he's the bass player.
Yeah.
The one kid's mom bought him a guitar, so he's a guitar player. So we need a drummer, so I'll just pick up drums. Like that's how I picked it up. I went to a kid's house who I'd heard from his sister that he was trying to sell a drum set unsuccessfully. And I said, I can give him $150. Like this will be emptying out what I have. Yeah. And basically, I came and looked at it, he goes, that's a lot less than I was asking. I was like, it's what I got. It's that or I have to walk, man. I don't have anything else to give you. And he goes, well, maybe we could work out a payment plan. And I was like, done deal, because this is not legally going to impact me at all. Yeah. I don't know where this kid goes to school. Yeah. So I said, sure. I gave him the 150, and he said, we'll figure it out. And I said, okay. It was just the drums, by the way. Yeah. So I have drums. Nothing else.
Yeah, no cymbals or...
No, so no... I think I had one cymbal stand with no cymbal on it.
Yeah.
And I think maybe we had hi-hats. So then I had to just go... I was like, well, I don't have any money. That was all the money. So like I would work jobs, like little things or do things, whatever I could to get the money. And a lot of it came from stealing the money that my dad would put in my car as emergency money. Yeah. So he'd put like $40 in there. As like, he was really all about cash.
Of course.
And so you needed to have that in the car in case there was an emergency. That money never made it more than 3 days in that car. I would go and try to buy music stuff. You know what I mean? Or used stuff if I could, because I could. That wasn't enough for full. Yeah. And then I would go at night to music stores and we would just go through the dumpsters looking for stuff, thinking and sure enough, like eventually I got a cymbal. I had a ride cymbal forever with a huge chunk out of the corner. Yeah. The thing is, I kept it forever. I used it into like getting good at music. Yeah. Because it had a specific sound. Yeah. I know people liked
cracked cymbals sometimes.
So we found that. I found like a different snare, a better snare. But this took forever. I mean, this was years. I convinced the music teacher to give me a pedal that was broken because the chain was broken. Yeah. And they was like, "Why do you want it?" And I was like, "I have drums. Blah blah blah." I took that. This was not a good. It wasn't worth fixing. But I like took an old bike chain. Yeah. Take the things out, made it work. You know what I mean? So you could just kind of keep making things work until it was like a full. But I mean, this thing was a Frankenstein for a long time. That's it. But I do miss being a kid and being like that, like dedicated to just resolving problems. And I do think that like the limited nature to some of what we're talking about, like not having access to just everything all the time. Or just being bored a lot. I think like it leads everything I just described that we did yesterday. The only reason we're good at it is because of that. 100%. I always assume you can fix a problem.
I literally just think of my buddy Ryan.
Random stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
His mom let us do airsoft war in the house. Going through a divorce, kind of let us fuck up the house a little bit. She let us beautiful brick patio overlooking Lake Erie. Timothy, gorgeous brick patio. She let us build a cement quarter pipe coming off the end of it into the yard, and his dad came over one time. He was like, "Oh, it's actually cement, huh?"
Imagine the amount of money it is to like remove that.
Oh yeah, and it'd be so much more than you could hire like a strong guy. You need some sort of machinery.
You'd have to crack it all up.
Yeah, exactly. And then you could just throw it down the hill. But yeah, man, resourcefulness is one of our strong suits. It's one of the ways we've gotten by here. So long. Because, like you said, I don't know what I would have done with access to all the things that I hoped for. Even skate parks were 30 minutes away. I had my little skate park down at the beach, but it was covered in glass and sand and kids, 12-year-olds smoking cigarettes. So that was...
Yeah, I mean, we had like a skate park in a sketchy town 40 minutes away. That was the worst skate park you'd ever been to.
Yes.
It looked like all the wood was warped. You couldn't go up half of it because you'd fall once you hit it. You know what I'm saying? But they had like a mini pipe that was warped in one area. So if you avoided that part, because you'd get tossed if you hit that pool that it had.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got here?
We're talking about Black Friday. So if you're interested in getting some Black Friday goods from Canoe Club, www.shopcanoeclub.com. Join the Patreon. You'll be getting early access here sooner than later.
www.patreon.com.
Also, buddy,
www is funny.
well, it's on the World Wide Web.
Yeah,
it's
that's
not,
true. Yeah.
Also, there's just so we say internally, it's faster than we thought too. So, something worth considering. What are you copping on Black Friday? Because I've got a list of goods that I'm kind of keen for.
You
but
start.
what are you?
Let me think.
I'm happy to report after dinner with our friends, and some hemming and hawing on my end and Mashane's end, we are going to get the Neuro Fuzzy. Should we find a good Black Friday deal? It's going to be tight. I am a little disappointed in the thought of it having AI technology.
Oh my God.
But
love a fucking God. You're acting like it's the Matrix.
Yeah. But
it's a rice machine that sings a song when you turn it on.
That's actually sick. Our dishwasher does that, and our washer and dryer do that as well. So we're keen for that, and I'm also keen for a juicer. So I wanted to talk to you about your juicer. Are you still juicing?
Mm-hmm. I was just talking to Abby. I need to get it back. Like you said, you have to accept that it's kind of a pain in the ass to clean. It just is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, there's no getting around it.
A pain in the ass to clean was one of the reasons we stopped using the other one. But to be honest with you, again, like I said, it started to almost smoke when we would use it.
Yeah.
It would.
And I have a nicer one. And it's still, if you're doing a big batch or something, you'll still get a little like this thing's getting hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't remember what we have. It's like not the Primo, but it's like the whatever, like right below.
Is it Breville?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
fuck
pretty,
yeah.
I'm pretty certain, yeah.
Well, we were looking into a Breville one. We have our Breville espresso maker, the one that is sans grinder. We have a separate grinder, but we've had it for at least 3 years, maybe going on 4. It's been used thousands of times. Do you know what I mean? At this point, thousands.
I do think it's worth it just for like doing like ginger lemon shots, stuff like that.
Well, that's what I'm thinking is I want to develop a routine. One, I would like to grow a lot of the stuff that I'm going to juice. That interests me. It gives as it stands now, we grow a lot of shit, but like I just eat it.
The nice thing about the juicer too is if you're open to like green juices and stuff like that, it's a great way. Like when you have a bunch of stuff and you're like, shit, we didn't get to this or we didn't get to that. You can kind of just juice it all out.
That's
you know what I'm
we'll
saying?
do. Yeah,
so like
yeah.
I feel like I waste a lot less.
But I want to make a morning routine. Basically, is what I'm saying too.
Got to make sure Mashane's up before you because those things are like turning on a jet engine.
She's up before me. Yeah. But like the shot you gave me the other day. Remember when you brought those in? I just thought that was so stellar.
Yeah, I mean that's nothing.
Whole lime, huh?
Yeah. Just the lime, ginger. I don't know what else I end up putting in it, but
yeah.
So
juicer, a rice maker, and then honestly any other gadgets that come to me or I happen upon on Amazon. But
I love a gadget.
I
didn't realize you were talking. I thought you meant like from our store, but you're just talking about in general.
Yeah, I'm just talking about real life things. I'm pretty set on the clothes. I'm gonna buy a little something maybe today, but we'll see.
Nothing I want is ever on sale for Black Friday is the reality. Like I just like music stuff, and they just do special runs. They never do any like real discounts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Buying it used is just better in that situation. Yeah. And clothes, I just get them from here, so I don't really need Black Friday specifically to entice me. Although I do need. There's a couple holes I'm spotting that I'm looking for certain things and then not seeing it. So
yeah.
But it's nice that when you have less, you start noticing like, oh man, I wish I had this.
Yeah.
So there, I've got a couple things, but again, they're like, it's on eBay, bro, or it's here. So different thing. I don't know. Oh, you know what? I do know. This is a thing that I've gone down the route of is. A lot of the way that G and I will spend time together, well, we spend an insane amount of time together, but one of the things I like to do with her is she'll do just like arts and crafts and stuff. She does that like pretty constantly. That's always been something she's interested in.
Yeah.
She does it at least once a day. And I bought her like a big set of like nicer markers. Like brush markers and stuff.
Yeah.
And again, when I say nicer, this is not the cream of the crop. I just thought she'll like that there's tons of different colors and stuff like that. But I did go down this road of like, do I just want to get her like these like $152,
really nice
markers?
Prismacolor markers?
Yeah, she's going to be a little rough with them still, so maybe not quite yet. So I get her a set, and then we'll sit down there and like watch TV in her room and just like doodle and or she'll color or whatever she's doing, and I like doing it. And when I was growing up, I always sketch and doodle and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fine. I'm not sitting here being like, I'm gonna release my stuff, or I'm gonna, it's not that, dude. But I do kind of miss doing that kind of thing, especially like absent-mindedly. I think I went through. I wonder if people feel this way too, but I feel like I went through a time in my like 20s where everything that you did had to be something like this bigger project.
I still feel that way.
Yeah, I'm trying to shed that, dude. Kind of hard because I've been struggling with music of like, it's really hard to play live with people. I have people I like doing it with, but like they've got a lot of stuff going on. I've got a lot of stuff going on.
Where is it going to go?
It's
What's
like
the
every
point?
fourth Friday, like maybe we can get down there and do it. And it's fun. You have a beer and you rent like 3 hours of time. And by the time you chat and drink a beer and get it all set up and dick around for a minute, it's like it's time to go. And it's like we didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
It's still fun. I like doing it. But I'm trying to adopt more of like it's just fun to like play around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just play with sound and mess around, and I don't even get the computer out to record anything. So
Totally,
I don't need to record any of this. It's just messing around, doodling around with music, and I get just as much of enjoyment out of that as I do like releasing things or whatever. And I think that I'm trying to get over that of like I don't need to like I could just enjoy like doing a little bit of art stuff because I used to love it. I used to be like most of what I did with my free time outside of music. And I don't ever do it because it's like, well, what would I do it for? And I'm trying to shed.
I'm not going to make any money from it. What's
What's
the outcome? And I'm just going to sit here and do this for enjoyment.
No, I'm just going to do it because it's
fun.
I just notice when I sit with Gia and I do it, I like have a nice time doing it, and I like choosing colors and mixing colors and doing just like art shit. So I got a Blick. Because I always wanted to go to, I liked going to Blick in Chicago.
It. Yeah,
it's so cool.
Sick,
they don't have one out here, but I used to love just walking around because it's so cool. And they have the cream of the crop stuff. So now I've gone down this road of looking up like what are the best X, Y, or Z pastels, paint,
of course,
brush pens, things like this, and like what you can do with them. And I'm like, maybe I'll just spend $200 on random art supplies, like really high end stuff, because I feel like that'll help you get into it. I have no intention of doing anything with this. It's just to mess around while we watch TV together and stuff like that. And just hang out and listen to music and sit together. And I think that like, and then just to,
Well, there's also so much value in it doing with
killing
Gia.
time.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is the value.
Well, we like doing it. We've always liked doing it together, and it's she enjoys it, and it's just nice. It's nice to like hang out, but not really have to talk. You know?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Or you can just chit chat while you're messing around. I like that. So I'm like trying to get into like more hobbies where it's like these don't need to go anywhere, dude. This isn't about completing anything. It's not about accomplishing anything. It's not about making money. This is literally just because it's fun to kill time in a way that's like somewhat like engaging.
Yeah, I completely
struggle
understand.
with. I like watching movies, as you know, but I like going to the movies, or I like watching heavy movies. Everything else, I struggle to keep my attention, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So I like doing stuff a lot, and I've just not been doing a lot of stuff because I feel like, well, I'm not really working on anything with music right now. So what's the point? And I'm trying to get over that a little bit of like, there is no point. There is no point.
The fun is the work. The fun is not putting it somewhere. You know what I mean?
So I'm just trying to take up a couple, especially I'm trying to like get over, like I said, I'm trying to get over my hatred of winter. So I need to like take up some stuff where I'm like looking forward to going home and doing it rather than looking forward to like, because I feel like in winter you get home, it's dark, you basically make dinner and go to bed and then get up the next day, and it just feels like an endless barrage of like dark.
I agree with you.
Shit,
I agree with you. Not even that
me.
we go out and do all that much shit when it's summer, but when it's summer, it's having the option to, or like actually going out in the backyard and fucking around for a little bit. Dicking around.
It's just getting sunshine to a certain degree, or like being
out.
outside in fresh air a little bit.
Yeah, no, I
but
feel you.
it's hard to do in the winter, and then it's also like I don't know. I just get bummed personally, so I'm trying to think of like little things to take up to work on. So that's one of them. So
you a puzzle guy? Does puzzles interest you?
Okay. Chase, is like I think I've told you this. It's like I'm dyslexic with puzzles and cards.
Just doesn't.
Card games. It's like none of it makes sense to me. It's like when people start explaining the rules. I don't know if it's just because I deeply don't care. Is the reality. But I think also it's just like something with the colors and the numbers. It's just like it's people. And this one's Trump, and I'm like blah blah blah, and I'm like I don't know what any of this is. You know what I mean? Like, and I just don't have enough base knowledge.
I understand what you're saying, but I personally
and then it moves
love that
fast
shit,
and it stresses me out. And then puzzles, like I don't know what it is. It's just it's not kinetic enough because it's a lot of just looking at it. And
it is a lot of looking and figuring.
And it's a good hobby, but it's another one where it's like, well, now that it's here, it's just taking up a bunch of room on a counter. You know what I mean? What am I gonna do now?
Yeah.
So
no,
I've
I
never
understand.
I've never been a that kind of That's what I mean. It needs to be kind of. I like to make things. I think that's why I like music, and I've been working on some ambient stuff, but I'm not like working on anything. I'm just like I'm understanding a complicated synthesizer.
Fun.
So just learning.
So you're figuring that out. It gives you a task to actually do.
Yeah. So there's like progress, but it's hard to point at.
Yeah.
So
no, I think that's good.
Yeah, I was even thinking about like. I really like doing like figure drawings. I've always liked doing that, and I'm okay at it. I'm not going to tell you I'm good. It's just I've got my own style and things I've learned throughout the years. And I was thinking about even taking paying for like an online class or something just to like expand the knowledge of it for no reason whatsoever. But I think you and I are people who struggle with like practicality of like, well, what am I'm not going to do anything with it. But I'm like, what does it matter?
Yeah,
like then why? Then I should just never buy a book again or never like if it's not just to learn more random stuff.
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, I completely understand. I'm hoping the quilt serves this purpose for us.
Yeah.
Maybe get the tufting gun
back
out,
you guys
make
are serial
a rug.
hobbyists.
We're serial hobbyists, but I feel like it's hard to like see a project through because then I want to try something else, or I get invested in this other thing, or
I'm also trying to
tell
myself it's kind of like with clothes and the switching out of closets and stuff. Like this is all just fun to think about. I just like thinking about stuff and researching stuff.
Yeah.
So half of the fun has just been like going, okay, here are the 5 elements I want to know, and then what like are like pastels, whatever it is that you're into, and then like what's the nicest version that you can possibly get.
Totally.
And then why is it better? What's it look like? What does it look like? What do you use that for?
Yeah.
That's like fun enough to me.
Yeah.
I could leave that as just the research, and I like that as much as I do.
No, I completely understand.
Activity.
I completely understand.
So.
It's the for me with clothes, for instance. Like I got these EG collab green pants on. I don't know if I just washed them and they're tight on the waist. They're not feeling right on me. They feel slim today. Maybe I want to size up to a 4. You know what I mean? I don't know. But there is the constant ebb and flow. It's the possibility to have a new thing is what excites me. Mm-hmm. And then you get the thing. Like I've been selling some shit, so I have some money, and I'm trying to figure out the scheme of can I get this or this, and then if I do those together, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's fun. Then I'll get the thing, and it's fun when I wear it the first couple times, and then it becomes something. Albeit I do love the shit I have. I wear the same things mostly every day. So adding something that I know I'll truly wear a lot, such as like a VizVim hoodie or something, that is really exciting. But getting it is not as exciting about thinking about it.
Well, you're just chasing a high, dude.
Yeah.
It's just chasing a dumb dopamine hit of like, I'm going to have the perfect closet. I'm going to be the one guy to have figured it out. And you're like, no, you're not. No one's ever figured it out. The only people that have figured it out don't care. You know what I mean? That's the only people that figure it out. If you care at all, you're never going to figure it out.
You're too
because
late,
it's an evolving learning thing.
Yeah.
And it's fun to research, and then a new brand comes up, and then a new piece comes up, or you see it like we've talked about, you see a movie or something, and you're like, I want to look like that person. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or who am I? Because I do think there's like some evolution that just comes with maturity that like just have fun trying a bunch of stuff because you don't know who you are yet. You know what I mean? That's fun. Because I see I think of different eras of things I was interested in, and I'm like all of them were fun, and I felt good at the time. So
yeah, hell yeah,
it's all fun.
Hell yeah.
But I think the only time that you get really good is when you start being like, I don't think about clothes anymore at all, dude. I just put them on, and I got like a style that I've developed over the years, and that's like what you're working on. You know what I mean? You're working on this like long education of knowing how to dress yourself.
Do you have any things in your closet that truly give you a pang of excitement when you put them on? Because there's a couple things in my closet I can think of.
Old jeans is the only thing that like really revs my engine.
You're like, fuck yeah, I'm wearing these today, and you're stoked.
Because there's this weirdness with it is that it's combining a lot of different things. Mm-hmm. It's obsessing over finding them, knowing your measurements exactly, or going, I want a pair, like right now I need to get a pair of like either 505s or 501s, and I need to buy like a bigger size than I need, like a 34 or something. Yeah. And I need to get a nicer belt because the belts I have are like decorative more than anything, Yeah. And I need a belt that can actually like cinch that thing down because I want that look, but I want them to be a little bit wider, but not like baggy or anything. I just want them a little bit overall. I want the shape to be a little wider than it is. And then that's exciting to look for, because now you're obsessing over a new set of measurements, a new type of wash that I have in my head that I want, and it takes forever because you'll want it to like have this rise and this inseam, so I don't have to hem it because I like them when they're frayed at the bottoms and stuff like that. And the investment's very low. I've never paid more than $100 ever,
which in itself is fun.
It's fun because it doesn't feel high stakes. You get them in, you don't know if they're going to work. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Sometimes people didn't do the measurement right. Sometimes, you never know. And then you get one and you're like, okay, now like this won't last forever. They're old jeans. If I'm going to wear them regularly, I'm going to get X amount of time out of them. And I just like that it's finite. You know what I mean? Like, and so it excites me on a lot of different levels.
Interesting.
There.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I'll get one and be like, I wish I had another one that was just like 20% different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so then you obsess over this. So it's just like a new thing all the time.
Yeah,
So
that
kind of does it for me. Perfect white t-shirts, off-white, having like obsessing over like the perfect t-shirt is a big thing, because I feel like 90% of my outfits are just old jeans, white or off-white t-shirt, and then one other item.
Like a jacket.
Yeah. So it's funny that the things that should excite me, like the jackets and stuff I put on top, are less exciting than the basics that I'm obsessed with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I just feel like if the basics aren't cool, then the rest doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I feel we're fortunate in that we found kind of that sweet spot for basics and shit. So.
Yeah, today.
Yeah,
but I'll decide
Yeah.
in 365 days that all my t-shirts fit terribly and I need to get rid of them and I need to start over and I need them to all be this way now.
Yeah. That's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. And it's nice to accept that that's going to be.
I'm just doing the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tricky just being okay, just doing whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? Just sort of filling out your body. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
just
weird. It's weird to not set the rules and just accept that you're an ever-changing being and you're going to change your opinion. Huh.
It's difficult, though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I'm looking at you specifically right now. Yeah. What else you got? You got anything else for us to chat about?
So no Black Friday items for you.
No, maybe I'll get a new video game, but I'm not going to buy it on sale. I'll just get whatever I want whenever I want it.
Yeah.
That's I'm not doing that game with video game things. I don't want to be. I'm not a kid. You know what I mean? Like if
I'm just curious, real quick.
Already beat the Spider-Man game, so.
Oh, you did.
It's hard now because I don't know if I want to play it when Gia's around. I can't. All games are too much for kids for the most part. That was kind of the perfect situation.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything. He just punches some people now.
Boom,
and then,
boom. Yeah. Skate 4 comes out early 2025.
There we go.
So something worth thinking about. Yeah, that's about it. I'm getting this shit from Black Friday.
Get a PS5, dude.
Well, I'm gonna.
Then we can chit chat about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get
chit chat about one thing.
Skate 4,
extra thing.
Just sit on the couch, just fuck around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love it.
GTA, when GTA comes out, it's gonna be sick. I'm gonna do some dirt on GTA and just steal planes and steal cars.
Maybe I'll buy the old one and just do that one for like the 5th time.
Oh my god,
I've played through it so many times.
Yeah. Going up north to the trailer park and getting that, there's all those vehicles you can only get in certain areas, and the No Country for Old Men Easter egg. That one?
The missions, man. I just like doing. You go to one spot, you drive to the other.
Talk to the guy.
You just do chores, basically. I love it.
Okay, that wraps it up for Black Friday. So on Hypebeast, we were cued into this information early, but we did not let it slip. Beams is opening an LA location. Cool, huh?
Yeah.
Makes me want to go out there and peep it. I'm curious.
Maybe we should.
Having seen just the Japan ones, what it'd be like.
I think it's a pop-up.
Oh.
So I'm not sure what I don't know what it'll look like. You know what I mean? I don't, because it's not like a permanent fixture. I kind of know what they do permanent fixture wise, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Be interesting. It's the first time I think they've been like properly in the United States.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. No, I think that'd be cool. I think
kind of cool stuff they got cooked up.
Yeah, I just wonder what they do for the US. Yeah. Lastly, just as food for thought for a thing, I think you'll probably have a good opinion on this. I was scrolling through Hypebeast looking for topics because that's about outside of typing in CNN or something. I don't know where else I get current events, And they were talking about they're rebooting
CNN or Hypebeast for you.
I'm not reading articles. So they're rebooting what it was Game of Thrones, so there's going to be another Lord of the Rings or another Star Wars is what it was. There's a rebooting of Star Wars for another trilogy or something, this and that. And then it got me thinking there was talk about an Office reboot, which it appears, at least as of 6 months ago,
production.
It is in production, is what I've been led to believe from what I could find quickly skimming the internet. And it's not going to be a reboot in that it's the same characters. It's the same world, new characters. So maybe old ones come back or what have you. Why can't we just let good things die? Is there that much of a market that rebooting something that was well loved? Because anecdotally, I feel all you ever hear is, Why are they going to ruin it? Why are they going to ruin it? You and I have seen together more Office than, and if you count a couple other individuals in this building, more Office than anybody that is listening to this podcast combined. I really feel that way. Our buddy that's in the Discord, he's also learned in the Office. Point being, nobody is begging for an Office reboot, even as somebody that loves it dearly. Why can we not just let things die?
I don't know. It's the same shit with like Star Wars and all that other stuff that you mentioned, or it's just like, I don't know who is it for? You know what I mean? I think that's the problem. I think they forget who it was for. And I think that what happens is you have something that initially is meant for such a small audience. You know what I mean? Like, I think the original Office, it was very edgy, especially for the time.
Yeah.
And it was also a reboot of a very like culty, small
niche
British
UK show that got canceled after one season.
And it was like every aspect of it was a risk, and it was like made for comedy nerds. You know what I mean? Like there was going to be a handful of people this was going to reasonably resonate with. And it was just, I think it more or less like casted nobodies. And it was like a new way of shooting things. It was very much not like, the documentary style.
Yeah.
Everything about it was fresh and weird and interesting. And then, it struggles for years. Everyone knows these stories. It struggles for years and years and years and seasons. They almost get canceled, almost get canceled, almost get canceled. Then for whatever reason, it blows up. You know what I mean? And it blows up and blows up and blows up. They let it go too long, longer than it should have. It should have ended when Michael left. Honestly, if you stopped watching at that point, that's a nice wrap up to the show.
I don't need typically do. I don't watch the 9th season.
Like let it. Well, there's still good parts to all the seasons. I think, in all honesty, because there's like other people like carry the weight of the show and.
I like Robert California.
And there's things in all those seasons that I do think are good, but it's not overall. It's different. I mean, obviously, like he carried the show. You know what I mean? Just the reality. And I don't know. I think that though it gets broad enough, and I think it's probably tempting. I mean, I think the same thing with The Office now. It's like they keep finding as it's in more and more places streaming. Not shout out Peacock, considering
idiots.
No matter what you do, you have to watch commercials of like
if you work at Peacock, quit your job and go work somewhere that is actually
give it back
better
to
in the world.
Netflix.
Yeah, give it back to fucking Netflix.
Yeah, do a solid for the world, Lorne. Yeah,
Michaels.
I like Lorne though. I don't know if I like him. I just like SNL. The issue though, I think, is it gets so broad, and like it's adopted these new audiences and like all these younger kids that have gotten into it too. And I think that like almost like the backlash of. It's fun that it's edgy and older, and it's aged fine, but there are things where you're like, oh, dude, that's a lot. Like that wouldn't be allowed now, and it's got this like interesting thing that I think will keep it going for a long time because it still does, especially the first handful of seasons, feels like something you and your buddies found and passed it along to somebody. It just has that feeling. I think it's because it was low budget. The people that were there because they not only wanted to be there, but they needed to be there for jobs. Yeah. And so they were giving their everything to it. You do this now, there is an expectation of how much money that's going to generate. They are going to cast big names. They're going to bring in guests as big names because this is also this is a loaded thing. People love this thing. All you can do is screw it up. Unless you were to go, let our budget be $100,000. We're gonna get nobodies who are basically paid nothing, and we're gonna shoot it on an old camera that somebody has, and truly make it like as rinky dink as it started, and let it be edgy for now. I think that would be like an interesting way to do that. Like for example, like I really think that new show. Have you watched it? I think it's called The English Teacher, the FX show. It's kind of a workplace thing, but it has like this. It's more touching on like modern cancel culture and like younger people and what a moving target they are, and it's the writing is very smart, very smart. I've only seen a couple episodes, but it feels like it has like it's capturing a little bit of that Office thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where it's like it's smaller, it's lower budget, the names are not necessarily people you're familiar with, and it's being edgy because I think the stakes for them are low. You know what I mean? If it does well, great, and but it's not for everybody. And I just think that you'd have to recreate that for it to be good, and I don't think you can do that with it's trying to put sparks in an old relationship, and I just don't think that that's necessary. Just make something new. Give
That- yeah.
younger people's a voice. Give no-name actors a chance. Give no-name writers, dirtbag writers a chance. Like, let it be what it needs to be. There is a recipe that works here, and it's stop trying to make it money and just try a bunch of new stuff, buckshot new stuff. There is the budgets for those with Netflix and all these other things. Give them big buckshot of opportunity for younger creators, and then let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Because that's the stuff that's good. I mean, those we've seen this time and time again. Is yes, are there going to be duds when you do that? Sure, but nobody wants ensemble casts anymore. I don't think that's what younger people want. I don't want that. I don't want to see the people that are in my movies on TV. Quite frankly,
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I'd rather that be a testing ground for new ideas and stuff like that.
Some of the shows that have stuck with me most too are shows that I didn't know all the actors.
100%, because it allows you to live in a
them.
fantasy world.
Yeah,
It's hard to live in a fantasy world when John Krasinski, like we've talked about, has got a bulletproof vest on, and it's like, why is Jim got a Glock? You know what I mean? Like I don't, like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want this.
I
That
agree.
doesn't. So the reason I don't know. I just think that stuff like that never works. I mean, it's the same thing as trying to capture the imagination of younger people through the most advanced technologies that existed at the time. Was what Star Wars did. That's not what they're doing now. It's for nerds to serve nerd culture. It's for adults first, not kids first. And there is no practical effects. There's no novelty to it. There's no like fantasy element. It's just CGI, boring bullshit.
Do you think they're
force-fed
also
over and over and over again to try to make money because they know that audience is so loyal that they'll just keep digesting whatever you serve.
Yeah, nostalgia.
Yeah.
They're selling nostalgia because they know that the people who Star Wars resonated with first and foremost, or mostly did, are now older, might have kids, they're going to consume the media and obsess about it just like they did when they were kids because of the nostalgic factor too.
Yeah.
You know, and for the record, I watched The Office reboot, but does it ruin the original thing a little bit? Does it cheapen it? You know what I mean?
I promise you, Chase, I'm going to watch 2 episodes and fall off.
Yeah.
And then it'll
Forget
canceled.
it even happened. Yeah.
Because it's just there's no way. I mean, I want it to work. I want good things. I'm not a critic in that way. I want things to be good. It's just like just try new stuff. Just from the same creators, from the same writing team. You know, and even then, to be honest with you, I don't want that now. They're good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they're good. I don't need their perspective any longer.
Yeah.
I want younger people. Those guys should be producing stuff and trying to recreate the things that they learned with small budgets and try to recreate that with new, younger people. That's what they should try to do, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't want this regurgitated thing of, like, trying to, like, you're not going to find that magic again. You just don't.
And
we just
doing
talked about
new
for
things is
hours,
great.
dude, of what it was like to be a kid and like finding stuff and all this like all that stuff that like you can't recreate that. You can recreate it kind of by accident, or you get a feel for it when we're moving around shit around here or whatever. You get these little doses, but it's
of figuring shit out. But.
Yeah, you and I trying to put together a bridge in the woods now is going to be like, well, I kind of want to go home. I got stuff to do. You know what I mean? Like, I just, you know what I mean? I don't need this. I can afford everything I need to buy the right stuff now.
I would like it. This is the thing. I fancy owning a home to get that satisfaction because I would do things, maybe not as DIY. I would still go to Home Depot and like, I fancy building a nice brick garden situation where the bricks wrap around the corner of a property or something. You know what I mean? And I would get that same satisfaction as I got as climbing on my buddy's roof to get the tarp off the top of the chimney in the middle of a snowstorm or rainstorm so that we could put a tarp over the cement and lay the next layer of cement on the quarter
Let me
pipe.
ask you a question,
know what I
though.
mean?
If I were to go back and I talk to, what do you think, 11-year-old Chase and say, hey, do you want to build a garden bed out of bricks? You'd be like, fuck no, I want to hang out with my friends and do this fucking rat shit stuff we're doing. You know what I mean? Like, this is fun. You know what I mean? Because it's messier.
But it would bring me a lot of joy to build a garden bed out of bricks.
Now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm saying when you're 11.
No,
if
when
I
you're
said,
11,
hey, help your dad put together a brick, that you'd be like, no, I don't want to do that. That's organized and boring.
Well, what would have piqued my interest more is like, yeah, can you take this little bit of wood and get to the top of that tree?
That's what I'm saying. But I mean, I think that what we're arguing is that like that is what the original writers of The Office would have been basically doing.
I understand what you're saying.
Hey, hang in there. Let's see if, and that kind of like stress and chaos and stuff like that creates these really interesting moments. I mean, the fact that they were still trying to fit in like boner jokes that were getting shut down by the FCC or whatever, while they were almost getting canceled already. It's like, why push the boundary now? And I think it's because they were like, I don't give a shit. I just want to make this stuff I want to do or cancel me.
It's funny.
You know what I mean?
I know you don't like Office Ladies, but I think that podcast just came to a wrap. So I come in and out once every couple months, listen to an episode. But Brian Baumgartner, who played Kevin, did a really good 10-episode podcast. And he talks about how they actually credit what got The Office to blow up was the iPod, the video iPod. What was it? iTunes preloaded an episode for free or something.
It was something like that, or it was like it was easy to download. There was something about it was like it was formatted for it when nobody else had it. Formatted. Something like that. Yes.
So people were on Christmas Day and the day after. Everybody got a video iPod that year that had money, and everybody was consuming this episode or 2 or 3 or whatever it was from The Office. And it was a new form of media. It was a new way to consume media because we didn't have fucking phones playing YouTube or anything. A video iPod was a big deal. You know what I mean? And that's also funny because I just don't know. It's like the thing I talk about, like, your school wearing a Letterman, my school wearing a Letterman jacket with basketball shorts was like a cool look, and that's something that the cool guys did, or the etnies. But like, you can't. There's like these hyper-specific movements in society that just don't happen anymore because we've got it all and everybody has access to everything now. Mm-hmm. But like back then, it was a video iPod. That was a big deal. Again, I don't know what the next thing is going to be. The next thing is going to be stupid, and I'm going to hate it. It's going to be, even more computerized glasses and shit.
Old.
Yeah, I'm just old.
You're old.
I'm just old.
That's what our parents thought of the video iPod. You know what I mean? I do think there was actually a better sentiment about technology back then. It was a little bit more exciting for all people, but still, the same deal. They didn't care about iPods or anything, or what am I going to do with all my CDs? You know what I mean? It's not for you. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the reality. But I think that, like, using it to capture the imaginations, like I'm saying, like, everyone always acts like it was like, George Lucas made a deliberate choice where we're just going to use all this dorky stuff, and it's like, no, that's all they had. That's what, that was the highest form of technology then, and they were just doing it to the best of their abilities with their budgets, you know? And so I don't think it's not like trying to make something nostalgic. You know what I mean? I think that's always the thing. They want to make it and then make it like the old thing. It's like, no. Use your thing. Just spend less money. That's 90% of it. Just spend less money.
Wiggle around in less money and you'll come to the same conclusion-ish.
Yeah.
Technology has grown since, so everything will be different. It's like I said, I'd still go to Home Depot and buy the bricks. You know what I mean? I maybe won't go looking for scraps of shit in the woods to build something when I own a home. But I'll still get that same amount of enjoyment from doing the thing, knowing that I did it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's almost like the way people talk about like SoundCloud rappers, which is a little technically after us-ish.
Willie asks me all the time, why I don't use SoundCloud. I'm like, what the fuck do I want SoundCloud?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's just because that's not what you are familiar with using, so you don't use it. It's not where all of the artists you're looking for are at, all of them in one place. And so that like it's just not technology but it's like that at one point was a technology driver, and then now has become this different thing where it's almost like obtuse to use that as opposed to upload it somewhere else. Yeah. And there's like probably a political or business element to it, that there's like a reason where that feels edgier or more like true to like, form. And then now his generation has like nostalgia for that already. And so just moving faster. So let's move on to another thing that I won't understand, but I can promise you this much. Giving some huge bloated budget to an Office reboot is not going to sell people on The Office.
It's just going to cheapen the product that was originally there that people loved.
But at the same time, I hope and pray it's good. Maybe it will be good. Maybe they'll have taken a hard left turn on what they want it to be and take some interesting perspective. And
I mean, again, I'm with you. I would love for it to be great. Yeah. Why would I? I want it to be good, but
if I was
I'm not sure about that. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay. You got anything else?
No, that's about it for topics over this way.
Okay, do we have anything else? Oh, let me bring up one thing. This is all I have written down in my random notes that I'll keep for the podcast. Have you seen... Okay, so we both like the band The Story so far.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I think it's great, like somewhat modern pop punk, I gotta show you this video, though, that I saw. And maybe I'm just not understanding it. Look, there's a chance that this was a Halloween show. I have no context for what I'm looking at here, but this came up on my feed. Give me a second. I'm just looking for it. Where is it at? And I was like, oh yeah. So this is the guy from Story So Far doing. He's in a Burberry jacket, buttoned all the way up. It's kind of giving like Liam Gallagher a little bit. Or Noel,
I don't think it's a Halloween show. I think it's just him.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think it's just him doing his thing.
And look, Burberry is like notoriously like it was kind of always punk adjacent. But look at the delivery. You can turn it up too. It's the song. It's punk adjacent, but it's so strange at the same time. Like I like that.
I think it's fucking sick.
He's got his hands in his pockets the whole time.
Yeah, it's fully buttoned up. He has the collar pop, so you see the tartan plaid underneath.
And he's doing it too. Like when you turn it up, he's doing the song.
Yeah.
But he's delivering it in a way you would never expect from.
I love it. I'm all for it.
Yeah?
I love it. I'm all for it. I think it's
You
sick.
like it?
I think it's makes me want one of those jackets.
I think it's a funny move for him. It's really costumey. Unless you get all the other guys on board in the band.
Well,
this happens sometimes.
I was looking to see, because my buddy's in the other band with him, and I was looking to see if that was my buddy, and I was like, no, these guys are still just dressed.
Yeah,
like you
kind of bad.
You know what I mean?
Like pop punk guys.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
just bad.
Yeah.
And so it's like, the thing is, I do think all the other people have to be on the same page if it's like a deliberate choice. But if this is just like, I was thinking like, I know they're still around because they put out a record not that long ago. But I was like, this almost feels like he came out of retirement and was like, I'll do one night with you guys if that's the night you want to do. But I'm not changing up my swag or anything. I'm just going to do my thing, and I'll do the songs. Are they still active? I'll be honest, man. I know it's not even I can't even think of the song. You'll know the Straight and Narrows or Shoots and Ladders or whatever.
Under Soil and Dirt.
There it is. Yeah.
That record.
It's great. It's a great record.
When it starts out with that.
It's a great pop punk record.
Yeah. Talk about nostalgia, man.
He's got the right like hardcore to pop punk sound. You know what I mean? Where like, because that bridge is good, but there's just only a handful of people who walk that bridge. You know? And he does it well.
It's being 18 on like 18, 19 on like a fixed gear bike at night, just being bummed out. You know what I mean? For forever.
But I think that the reason I love pop punk is because it exists in this interesting space of life where you have more energy than you're ever going to have again in life. It's all a downward spiral from here, but you're also like the most depressed over nothing all the time.
Just can't get it together.
Pop punk exists in this space where those two things collide, and that's why I think young men around the world really resonate with it, because you're just never more depressed about nothing, and you never have more energy, and those two things sandwiched together create the story so far, I think. Well, anyway, it was just it was an outfit that I was like, okay.
No, I don't think it's a Halloween show. I just think it's what he's doing, and I think it's dope.
If he's just doing it the way we're describing, which is more or less like, fuck you guys, I'm not changing my shit just because you guys dress like shit. I'm gonna do my thing. I'm not jumping around anymore because I'm old. I'm just gonna like point, keep my hands in my pockets, do the thing,
and have a full.
I think it's cool.
I think it's
if
so
it's
sick.
A bit in any way, shape, or form, I hate it though. So we have to get to the bottom of this.
Here.
If somebody knows more than me, please let me know.
I'm just typing in that dude's name. Outfits. It doesn't appear that he's wearing.
He's not putting it on at any other point.
Well, there's a Reddit post: Parker and Liam Gallagher of Oasis
hanging out together or something.
No. Here's another photo of the Story So Far singer wearing. It looks like an anorak or like a Woolrich nylon parka.
Okay, so he's kind of maybe doing Oasis a little
Here's
bit.
him in a Stone Island button-up.
Okay, all right. Okay, so unfortunately, it sounds like he's gotten Oasis pilled, like a number of
he's even got the haircut like
age.
that. So
yeah, he got too deep in. I don't know what it is with people and wanting to look like those guys.
I don't know, man. Oasis is fine. I know we caught some backlash for that, but
I'll stand on that. I don't care. The songs are boring.
I don't know, man. Again, it's Adam Sandler music. I like Adam Sandler.
The thing is, I try to be on your side with stuff, and then you say shit like that where I still don't know what the hell you're talking about, Adam Sandler music. But First of all, and we just talked about how much we like him. So if
I
anything,
love Adam
if anything,
Sandler.
we would like this.
I'm not interested in soundtrack music.
I think people. I just think aesthetically the logos cool. They do dress cool. Mm-hmm. They're personalities that are easy to point at and go, "Oh, do that thing." You know what I mean? Because even they're feuding anymore. I'm like, shut up, you fucking nerds. You know what I mean? Like, shut up.
It's
what
brothers.
What could you two
feuding?
be fighting about? That's so embarrassing to say at your age.
Yeah.
I can't even. I'm fighting with my brother.
Yeah.
What do you mean you're fighting with your brother? You're 50. What do you mean? What kind of argument are you in?
Like either solve
Are you
it or
settling an
don't,
estate
but, like,
or
get
something?
over
Like,
it.
what could you be fighting as
yeah,
adults about
yeah,
this? Where you're like, hey, he can piss off. It's like, okay, guys, fix. This is so dumb at this point. So anyway, I still don't get it. I just think it looks cool, and so you want to be a part of it.
Sure.
And there's a couple songs, but they're not like cool songs. You know, they aren't like. I don't listen to them and think, oh, this is like cool guy music.
Main Oasis.
It's not Velvet
songs.
Underground. You know what I mean? It's just sort of. It's like radio songs.
Wonderwall. It's the only one I've ever heard.
I just don't
of.
understand. How am I supposed to think these guys are so cool if any given song you could play in a dentist office?
Yeah, in a dentist office
Like
or in
even
a Walmart.
like Zeppelin is old as shit at this point. You still would be like, that's a little much for a dentist office in most cases. So it's like it's just kind of soft.
Yeah, no, I mean I'm with you.
But it looks cool. I just think this guy, he got in too deep now. I think
Yeah.
he got into deep to the world, and he's like, I really want to be making big anthem jams like my boys, but that ain't in the cards. So I just got to keep doing stories so far.
Yeah.
But I got to do it in the outfits.
Well, at least the outfits are cool.
I agree.
You know.
I agree. I still think the logo. When I see guys in the Oasis t-shirt, as much as there's an eye roll part of me, I'm like,
It's a good logo.
It's a good logo,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
It's like the Big Star logo. Just fucking
Yeah, it's like
rips.
the Nails tee.
Yeah.
It's a
Some are
dicey
just
shirt to wear.
as good as the music, if not in a lot of cases better.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right,
done?
buddy. Let's wrap it up. I got a lot of stuff to do. You're gonna kill me.
All right. Let's go.
Bye.